Hi there, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So you came in to see me today. What did you want to talk about?
Just some like stuff at home, just about moving out and what decision I think I should make regarding that path.
Sure. So before we get into that, I did want to talk to you about something that is called confidentiality. Do you know what that is?
Just everything you say or I say is just going to be kept between the two of us.
Yeah, absolutely. There's only going to be a few times where I will have to tell someone about what we've talked about here today. So if you think that you are going to harm yourself or somebody else, I do want to make sure that everyone's going to be safe. So I will tell someone there, or if I think someone's going to hurt you as well, because I want everyone to be safe here. I might do that in what we call a supervision meeting. So I sit and talk with my coworkers about maybe some different resources we can provide you with. The last would be at a court where I would be subpoenaed, which means I have to tell them everything that you told me here. Is that something you think that will have to happen during our chat here?
No.
Okay, and you understand what I mean by
Yeah.
the confidentiality parameters?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So you came in and wanted to talk to me about some issues around moving out. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, well, I have a really good family life. I don't have any complaints there. It's just like I'm at that age where like I want more freedom to do what I want and just be able to come and go as I please. And I feel like right now I don't have that freedom. And so the more that I think about it, it's the more I want to move out. And I just don't know if that's really like I know it's not in the budget to do it, but I feel like it's in the life I want to have.
Yeah.
And I just don't know exactly like what to do because my thoughts are kind of all jumbled.
Sure. So what kind of feelings do you have around moving out? I know you said you were feeling a little jumbled. Let's break down those feelings.
It's just like my family is amazing. Like I have a really good relationship with them, but it's like they're almost like too good to me, and like I want that freedom to like be able to make my own decisions without them having their say on it, and like be able to come and go as I please without them questioning it. Like they're super like I have a lot of freedom at home, but more like be able to come home and not worry about anybody else, just kind of have my own space.
So am I understanding that you're feeling almost a little smothered by your family?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Okay. And have you done anything in the past to try and
I've kind of distanced myself from them, like not like dramatically, but like instead of sitting in the family room and like talking to them right when I get home, like I'm more prone to go to my room because I just want that space, especially if I've had like a busy day. So like, and I feel like I don't really get that much because like they assume that what if I go off by myself, I'm upset, but really it's just I want my space.
Yes.
And it's kind of would be nicer if I could just go and not have anybody question it.
Right.
So.
So it's really, really important. I do want to keep talking about that. Before we do, though, have you gone to counseling before to talk about anything?
I've been to counseling, but not for this kind of reasoning.
Okay. And was there things that counselor did or didn't do that you liked?
I just liked how they were non-judgmental and they were good with giving me feedback. They didn't really hold back.
Mm-hmm.
But I just felt that they're kind of inconsistent. Like they were pretty like they weren't good at like contacting me if something wasn't going to happen, or they would cut my session short or whatever. So just not very reliable, I guess.
All right. So I'll absolutely be a non-judgmental counselor for you. I want to be as least judgmental as I can. If I do, however, start giving you feedback or saying something that you're feeling a little uncomfortable with, how are you going to respond? What does that look like when you're feeling a little more anxiety?
Well, obviously, like it's hard sometimes to take the feedback, but I do like getting the feedback, even if at the moment I don't think that it's beneficial. I do look back on it and find it to be very helpful. So I am pretty reciprocative of getting feedback and information.
Sure. If in the moment you're feeling a little overwhelmed about what I'm saying, how would you like me to respond then?
I guess just like ask me how I'm feeling, like take a pause from everything and then just let me collect my thoughts and then move on. I'm pretty good at collecting my thoughts and like organizing my feelings, so I'm not too worried about it.
Perfect. So we'll definitely keep that in mind for our counseling sessions here, okay?
Yep.
All right, so you're saying that you have been distancing yourself a little bit from your family. Have you noticed a change in the dynamic?
A little bit, but it's not in the way that I've kind of wanted it. Like I've kind of been distancing myself for my own personal reasons, like not because I'm upset or I'm angry. It's just I like having my space to myself. Although I am very outgoing and stuff, I do like to come home and not have like to be around people, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think like they're reciprocating that in a way that's like, oh, I'm coming home and I'm upset. That's why I go to my room. And that just draws them to me even more, which is definitely not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So it's kind of confusing me because, like, I love that they care so much, but at the same time, like, I don't want them to stop caring. I just want them to, like, not worry so much.
You have to find that good balance with them, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think you could do to help find that balance?
I guess, like, maybe, like, address them, like, about it, like every time I go to my room, it's not because I'm mad or not because I'm upset. Like, sometimes I just need my space, and maybe tell them, like, when I am upset, that I'm upset, because I do have that relationship with them, I guess.
Yeah. And how do you think that conversation would look like? Because you said they're very, very good parents.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be good, like, my mom and I, because, like, my mom and I deal with the same kind of things. I feel like she would really, like, understand where I'm coming from, as she does like to be alone. But my dad, I feel like he would kind of still have that suspicion, like, oh, something's wrong, she just doesn't want to talk about it. So I think it's just depending on who I talk to about it.
Sure. In that situation, obviously, you need to talk to both of your parents. What's the relationship like with your dad, since you're saying it's a bit more?
Well, he doesn't quite understand as much about, like, my mental health and, like, my anxiety as my mom does, as we do share the same kind of sides, like, the same kind of mental health issues. So, like, I know he tries, and I know he does his best to do what he can, but I think just with his understanding of it is a lot different than my mom's understanding of it. But our relationship is, like, really healthy. Like, I really have no complaints with it, other than, like, he needs to, like, stop looking for a reason to jump in.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's always trying to look for a reason to help me, which I appreciate, but sometimes it's like, no, like, I don't need help right now. I'm fine.
It's a little overwhelming.
Yeah, at times, yeah.
So you had mentioned in that little talk there that you are battling some mental health issues. Is that something that you would want to talk about?
Maybe not in the first session, but definitely something as our sessions progress that I would be open to talking about.
Sure. So do you think maybe because, I know you don't want to talk about your mental health problems, but do you think that may be related to why your parents are so, I don't want to say smothering, but why they're always around you and why they want to make sure you're okay?
I think that's a pretty big reason for it. Like, I think because we're not, in general, very lovey-dovey, like, all over each other family, I think since more since I've come out about my mental health and, like, gotten help for it, the more they've kind of smothered me, I guess. Because before, like, we've had a close relationship, but I wouldn't be, like, talked to as much, like, well, not like they ignored me, but, like, they wouldn't be, like, so focused on me in that sense. So more so since I've come out about how I've been feeling, they've been a lot more attached, I think, for my own protection and safety. And it's not a bad thing, it's just sometimes, like, they forget that I am an adult and I am capable of working on my own. Like,
you still want that autonomy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So, talking about moving out then, I'm wondering what it would look like for you to live on your own.
I feel like for the first little while, it would be a little bit overwhelming for me because I am such a social person. I like being able to, when I don't want to be alone, being able to sit with somebody, even if I'm just watching TV in the same room as somebody. I like that company. But at the same time, I feel like having that independence and that space to myself would really help me, like, to focus on myself, you know? Like, I wouldn't have to worry about, like, what somebody else is doing or, like, what the distractions are. I would just be able to have that time to self-reflect, or even, like, if I'm not doing anything, just be able to throw my stuff anywhere, not have to be worrying about affecting anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you think you'd want to live with a roommate, or did you want to start off by yourself?
Ideally, I would want to start off by myself, just because I have never lived, like, outside of family, like grandma or, like, my family. I would like to live on my own, just because I like things a certain way, and if I don't get along with my roommate, that's going to cause major conflict. So, like, ideally, I would like to start off on my own, and then maybe in the future, like, when things are financial for both of us, like, have Alex move in at some point.
Okay.
But maybe not right off the bat. It would just depend on the financial situation and then the strength of the relationship as well.
So Alex is your boyfriend?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And what does he think about you moving out?
He agrees. He thinks it's a good idea. He's kind of deals with the same sort of stuff about wanting to leave home for different reasons, but he definitely accepts the fact that I want my own space, and he knows right now that it's not the best idea due to the financial stability of me, but he does agree for the reasons that I'm saying, that it would be also a good idea to be out of the house.
It's great that he's so supportive of that then.
Yeah.
So what is your hope here with our counseling? What if we could be successful by the end of your time here, what would that look like?
Just to maybe like find ways that I can work with my parents to show them that I'm not as dependent on them as they kind of think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a very independent person, and I think I just kind of want help on how to show them that I am independent, and then go from there, showing them that I am able to live on my own. I am able to progress more than they think I can.
Okay.
So just finding the means of communication, I guess.
All right. Well, that's definitely something that we can start working on together. The more we meet, is this time every week okay?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, awesome. So I'll see you next week, and we'll start working on some goals, okay?
Okay, this is
Awesome.
perfect.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.